Persuasion, the art of convincing or influencing another person. A persuasive speech foundationally is a information speech, but you are not just giving information for information's sake. You are giving information with a purpose. You're trying to inspire, motivate, change a behavior. There's many, many examples of persuasion in our daily lives. You cannot watch an ad on a television show or on a podcast without realizing you are being persuaded. When you open up the week, you will see that I have, of course, as always, put up the handout for this week's presentation on persuasion. You should review this for sure. Some of this is going to be very familiar to you from your English classes. And this is where the written communication and oral communication overlap. Then over here, I have a handout on shortcuts for persuasive speech topics that you might find, look at that dog, kind of fun. And they might motivate you as you read through the different thoughts of ideas of what you would indeed do for your persuasive presentation. It might be a persuasive presentation that you've done already in an English class, because that is also a common theme for essays. And then over here I have this is an extra. This is about free speech that was last February on CBS, and I thought it was very interesting. And that's just an extra. So I can put that down. Let me see, I'll put that down here because it's an extra. Right here is a handout on Monroe's motivated sequence, which you might be familiar with. And he talks about the 5 steps of getting someone's attention to help you with your scheme or your strategy to motivate your audience. First, he says you need to get the attention of your audience, establish the need for what you're trying to persuade, satisfy the need with how it would happen that they could like create that the result or the solution, visualize what life will be, and call to action. The call to action step is in every persuasive speech where you are going to ask your audience what you want them to do with all this good information. You do not have to use Monroe's motivated sequence. It's just an idea or a thought. Some of you might have followed that pattern for your persuasive essay, so I wanted you to know that it was totally acceptable here as well. And besides that, for support, I would suggest reading chapter 17 on persuasion in our textbook. I go to our textbook all the time for guides. In fact, many of the TED Talks that are in our course site have been influenced by these chapters. So please do. Types of persuasive speeches again, organizing, what an overview is of a persuasive speech, which I'm sure you already know. It's the art of influencing. And the most important thing for you is that you have to believe. Persuasion comes from the Greek word meaning to believe, so it's important you believe it. And it could be, and over here in PowerPoint 16 is all on persuasive speaking. So you have the tools. You just have to come up with a topic. The topic could be lighthearted, like everyone should go camping on their next vacation, and these are the features why. Once again, no one will be listening to you unless they think there's something in it for them. So convincing an audience or influencing, you have to think in terms of your human beings you're speaking to. What will motivate them? Maslow's hierarchy of needs is a good place to start studying the universal needs that we all have. Maslow's first need is the need for physiological need, for good air, good water, good food, nutrition, I was going to say safety, but that's the second need. And then we go up to safety and security, right? Homeland security, good sneakers to protect you, good tires on your car, safety as far as cybersecurity is concerned. You don't want someone to steal your identity. So that's a need we all have. So physiological, safety and security. And then we go into the third need, which is to love, belong, why people should join different groups or organizations or become part of their community outreach programs that they might have to help others, how important that is, and to know that you count, that you matter, that you're valuable. Very human need. And the next would be self-esteem, what you're doing right now, taking college classes, learning something new, being feeling you're fulfilling your destiny on this planet. And then the fifth is to self-actualize, to go beyond the usual or the expectation, as the Marines would say, to be all that you can be, to give back to others. But you cannot get to the self-actualization step until the other needs are reasonably satisfied. And in any given day, you can go up and down those needs. If you're really hungry in a class, it's very hard for you to listen to your teacher because your first need is not met. You're hungry, or if you don't feel well, right? So we go up and down this pyramid all the time. But looking at those needs might also inspire you. So look at Alan Monroe, look at the list of the handout on the website, look in the chapters for ideas. Think about your own world, what you do. Maybe you have a favorite movie, favorite restaurant. Maybe you're very political and you are supporting a certain agenda. Regardless of what your political affiliation is, there's probably ideas you have that might be your own ideas that you would love to express in this presentation. So go for it. Persuasion, the art of convincing, influencing, motivating, inspiring. You put the word in, but it's not just information for information's sake anymore. You want the audience to do something with this information. So you really need to use your nonverbal communication with a good, strong voice. Try to make the eye contact if you can. Good posture. So you have to believe it first for anyone else to believe it. All right. I know I overspeak. I know that I probably give you way more information than you need, and the information is embedded in our course site, so you can find it. Do not forget the chapters or the PowerPoints. They can be incredibly important because they're not long, and that's all you need sometimes to say, I know what I'm going to do. Or ask someone that cares about you, say, I have to do a persuasive presentation. It could be very serious or it could be silly, but it has to be persuasive. What do you think I could do? So many times people who know and love you the best can give you some great ideas as well. Or go to the Learning Commons and ask them. They're always there for you. All right, take care. I will see you on the other side during the presentations. Thank you all.